Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do Michael J. Fox's top 10 best movies. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Fox was definitely one of the biggest stars in film and on television. And I thought it would be fun to do a top 10 list for Fox because when you think of him, usually everyone thinks of Back to the Future, which is fine. But he has many roles I feel that have gone unnoticed. And before we start, here's a few films that didn't make the list. Greedy, Doc Hollywood, Life with Mikey. Didn't make the list, but they were all considered, and I enjoy them. But let's get to this list. So sit back, relax, and let the show begin. Number 10 is The Secret of My Success. Released in 1987 and directed by Herbert Ross, this was a monster hit, making over $110 million. Michael J. Fox had another film come out the same year called Light of Day, which didn't do well at all, but it's decent. The Secret of My Success is extremely 80s, and I love it. I used to rent this one all the time on VHS when I was a kid. Michael J. Fox moves from Kansas to New York after graduating college, but when he arrives in New York, his job that he had lined up has been cut, so he's stranded, but remembers he has a distant uncle who's a CEO of a huge corporate company. He starts him off in the mailroom, but Fox has bigger aspirations. He creates a second identity and starts handling more important stuff around the office without his uncle knowing. The cast is fun, and I love the New York filming locations. This is a cheeseball 80s fun time. Number 9 is Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Released in 1993 and directed by Dwayne Dunham, who's better known for editing films like the original Star Wars films and David Lynch's Twin Peaks all 3 seasons. But here he got his first shot at directing a feature film. I love this film. It's a great adventure about 3 pets who think their owners abandoned them, but really they just went on vacation. It's a remake of the 1960s version, but with the addition of Michael J. Fox, Sally Field, and Donna Machi playing the voices of Chance, Shadow, and Sassy. They all do an amazing job. I also love the scenery while the pets embark on their adventure home. It's a fantastic film with a tearjerker ending. There was a sequel in 1996 where Michael J. Fox returned as Chance, but the 1993 version is a timeless classic that can't be matched in quality. Number 8 is Teen Wolf. Released in 1985 and directed by Rod Daniel, this was a massive hit, making over $80 million on a $1 million budget. Michael J. Fox was on the rise with his hit TV show Family Ties, and Back to the Future had just released a couple of months before Teen Wolf released, so it probably helped Teen Wolf at the box office. But still, Teen Wolf is a timeless classic, and Fox was the king of 1985 with 2 massive hits under his belt. Michael J. Fox plays a high school student who learns that he's also a werewolf. I love the small town setting, and the cast is fun all around. There are some low-budget makeup effects and some cheesy moments, but overall this film is a blast. I watch it at least once a year. Number 7 is Bright Lights, Big City. Released in 1988 and directed by James Bridges, I really love this film, and Michael J. Fox is phenomenal in this role. Fox plays an editor who's struggling with a cocaine addiction to help mask the pain of his mother's death and his wife recently leaving him. Everyone thought Fox wasn't the right choice to play this part because he was more of a comedic star and had a good boy image, but Michael J. Fox kills it in this role. He's a phenomenal actor. The whole cast is excellent, with Kiefer Sutherland, Phoebe Cates, Diane Weiss, and many more, all doing a terrific job. I love the look and feel of the New York 80s filming locations. The look of the nightclub scenes, I'm sure, inspired the club scenes in American Psycho too, right down to Christian Bale looking at himself in the mirror. Michael J. Fox really showed he could do any type of role. He acts screwed up flawlessly, and not many actors could do what he did with this role. Number 6 is The Hard Way. Released in 1991 and directed by John Badham, this movie is a blast. It has its flaws, but the chemistry between Michael J. Fox and James Woods is just so much fun to watch. Fox plays an actor who wants to be taken more seriously, and there's an upcoming movie that he really wants to land, but the rumors are they want Mel Gibson instead. So in order to win the role, he asked to be assigned with James Woods because he saw him on TV and he just thinks he's badass. James Woods isn't thrilled by this rare opportunity, but he has no choice. The comedic dialogue between these 2 top-notch actors is incredible. The action scenes are a little over the top, but overall this film is just so entertaining. And at the end, Fox gets the role, and Woods goes to the premiere, but he realizes that some of the lines were from him, so it's kind of funny to see his reaction. This film overall is hilarious. Number 5 is The Frighteners. Released in 1996 and directed by Peter Jackson, this film is so much fun. It's an excellent horror comedy. Robert Zemeckis, one of the producers for Tales from the Crypt, wanted to make a spin-off film, so he asked Peter Jackson and his writing partner to come up with a script. When they were done, Zemeckis was just so impressed that he told Jackson to direct himself. He did an excellent job, and the special effects were done perfectly. Michael J. Fox is fantastic, playing a somewhat suicidal ghost hunter. The entire cast is excellent, and Jeffrey Combs is memorable, playing a psychotic FBI agent. I love the look and setting of the film, and the story is top-notch. It barely made its money back at the box office and was considered a disappointment, but this film is excellent. Number 4 is Casualties of War. Released in 1989 and directed by Brian De Palma, this film is fantastic, but unfortunately it didn't do well at the box office, which is surprising because most Vietnam War films always seem to do well. And with Fox and Penn starring, you would think this would be a hit. It's probably the most underrated war film ever. Fox and Penn are phenomenal. Michael J. Fox has flashbacks of his experiences during his time at war and all the struggles he had to face, not only by the enemy, but also his lieutenant, who's psychotic. Sean Penn is terrifying. Overall, the cast is top-notch, the scenery is beautifully shot, and it's a shame it wasn't well received, but it is a hard movie to watch. It's definitely not for everybody. Number 3 is Back to the Future 3. Released in 1990 and directed by Robert Zemeckis, this film released 6 months after Part 2, and in my opinion, it's great for a third installment. I love westerns, and to have it set in Hill Valley, 1885, is just awesome. Most people are mixed when it comes to Part 3, and in my opinion, it's not better than the first two, but Part 3 blows away anything released today in theaters. Fox and Christopher Lloyd are fantastic once again. I love the western setting, and the returning cast are all excellent, especially Thomas F. Wilson. I'm not the biggest fan of Mary Steenburgen, though, and her scenes with Doc Brown are kind of boring, but still this movie is a blast, and I think it ties up the trilogy nicely. Number 2 is Back to the Future Part 2. Released in 1989 and directed by Robert Zemeckis, this is one of my favorite sequels of all time. I love that we get to see the future when they go to 2015 Hill Valley. Just looks all retro, it's awesome looking. The scenes where he gets the almanac is just so much fun. Biff takes the book and flies back, creating an alternate 1985 universe. And when Marty and Doc Brown get back, they know something's off, but they're not quite sure yet. I just love the look of the alternate setting. But the best is when they have to go back again to 1955 and stop Biff from getting the almanac. It's amazing to see Part 1 while their second versions are all walking around. This film is just too good. This film is also notable for the lawsuit between Crispin Glover and the producers because he declined a role in the sequel, so they apply prosthetic makeup on another actor to look like George McFly. Crispin Glover was paid off, and Hollywood could no longer use those types of methods. Number 1 is Back to the Future. Released in 1985 and directed by Robert Zemeckis, this film was a game changer. What an achievement for 1985. This film and the effects in all three movies are better than most films today. Michael J. Fox in his most iconic role is perfect. Although Eric Stoltz was first cast because Fox was unavailable, they filmed many scenes with Stoltz before agreeing to change actors, and by that time, Fox was able to do it. Incredible turn of events. The actors are terrific all around. The Hill Valley small town setting is perfect. The 1950s scenes are so much fun, and the music is top-notch. Alan Silvestri's score, Dean Cundy's cinematography, and Robert Zemeckis' direction makes for an iconic classic film trilogy. Anyway, so that's the list, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.
Say